So Democrats have obviously lost their minds over DOGE and Elon and these alleged folks that Elon has hired to go through and sift through all of these payments, this corruption, okay? And it's honestly been funny to watch and quite interesting as well. One being how mainstream media has tried to cover this, which is obviously in a biased light, but we expect that, and I fully expect the bias from mainstream media to continue at minimum until 2028. When 2028 rolls around and they lose again, then I think we'll see a major shift in the way that our news on mainstream media is presented to us. It'll be in a fair light, right? One, because the evaluations will continue to drop, the profits will continue to tank, the viewership will continue to drop, and by 2028, one, they'll have no choice because of that. Otherwise, it's over, right? Completely over. But then also because they realize, oh, well, we can't win this way, so we got to make a change. But so here we have it. And I want to play this clip from CNN because it's quite interesting because they did an investigation on at least one of the folks that is working for Elon at DOGE. And it's absolutely hilarious listening to them call this guy Big Balls on national television. Check it out.
Yes, so this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside DOGE. And we looked into his background. And so we found, several notable things, Aaron, one of which is that this individual has founded multiple companies, including one with another unfortunate name, Tesla.Sexy LLC, which he established in 2021. He would have been around 16 years old. Now, this LLC controls dozens of web domains. Yes, so this is a 19-year-old high school.
Yeah. Ooh, CNN doing some investigative work for once. Only because it's against somebody that they don't like. Big Balls. I can't believe they actually said that, bro. Goodness gracious, the desperation, the desperation on these folks. And, it's like a recurring thing. Democrats continue to almost shoot themselves in the foot, right? Example being this. Here's a couple examples. Democrats with their TDS, their Trump derangement syndrome, open people's eyes to, hold on, wait a minute, Trump actually isn't that bad, right? Democrats in mainstream media, their TDS syndrome has actually caused people to see through the smoke and start turning them off because it's like, yo, wait, that's actually pretty crazy. Like, come on. And I actually said this a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. Last year at some point in a video, I said that if Democrats were smart, they would have gone after Trump with like one thing that they knew that they could bury him with. All they needed was one. I mean, Trump's an older guy. You don't need to throw him in jail for 40 years. A 10, 12, 15-year sentence, I mean, that's doomed for Trump. I mean, that's a life sentence, basically, right, for somebody as old as Trump. So you really didn't have to do this over here, raid the man's house, do this, assassination attempt, this, another assassination attempt, this, like you went way overboard, and it caused people to like, well, this doesn't seem right. If you just would have gone after him with one thing, you might have actually, I hate to say this, but, and y'all can let me know if you agree or disagree, if they would have gone after him with just one thing and given him like a 8-year sentence, they might have actually gotten away with it. And that's damn near a life sentence for Trump, right? I hope he lives longer than that. Obviously, I'm not wishing death upon anybody, but especially in terms of politics, that's basically a death sentence. So it's almost like they continue to shoot themselves in the foot. And we're learning about the same thing happening with USAID as well. So when Trump issued an executive order to stop the payments from going out to any place else, Elon and the crew took note of who was trying to circumvent Trump's orders. And you know who was the biggest offender? USAID. You know why Elon went to USAID first? Because they were the biggest offender. If they just would have sat back quietly and just listened to what Trump said, we may not have the information that we have now.
The people who come first, like, they're probably the ones who are in on the biggest grift because, hey, you know, I figured out how to grift this money. How USAID got to the top of the DOGE list, I think, is one of the most interesting aspects of this story. So if you remember, on January 21st, Trump decided he would do a bunch of executive orders, right? And one of them was to pause foreign aid for 90 days. Okay, this seems reasonable. We got to take care of our country. That was part of his mandate for becoming the 47th president of the United States. So a couple of days later, the White House said, hey, this USAID leadership is trying to circumvent the executive order. In other words, they're just going to keep paying people even though the executive order came out. That alerted the DOGE team. So Elon confirmed this on X. He said, quote, all DOGE did was check to see which federal organizations were violating the president's executive orders the most. Turned out to be USAID, so that became our focus. And according to NBC, security officials at USAID tried to prevent DOGE from even getting into the building or accessing the systems. To your point, Antonio, the person probably who's got the most to hide is the one who's going to fight the most. Over the weekend, DOGE gained access to USAID, and then people started tweeting out all of this, you know, crazy spend and things that any American who looks at it and says, wait a second, if we haven't fixed the goddamn water in Flint, Michigan, why are we sending money to Galway or in Ireland to do a DEI musical? This makes no sense. And that's, I think, the key piece of this, Antonio, is can you win the hearts and minds of Americans? Because some of this stuff, I don't know if it's legal or it's not legal or it's against protocol or it is protocol. We're going to find out. There's been tons of legal cases and lawsuits that have been filed. But to your point, this is how Elon found out about USAID.
Once again, shooting themselves in the foot. Interesting, huh? Very, very interesting. Laughable. These folks have continued to bury themselves all in, you know, rebellion against Trump, right? We're going to rebel against Trump. We're not going to listen to his executive order. Well, now you've all been uncovered. Now your corruption is out into the light. If you just would have listened and sat back quietly like everybody else, who knows? Maybe Elon wouldn't have ever discovered what was actually going on with USAID. Who knows, right? But because of your Trump derangement, you couldn't do that. And now you're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. But, you know, not only are they shooting themselves in the foot, but they're just blatantly lying about stuff. And they lie about it in a creative way. They lie by omission, right? or sometimes they just blatantly lie about stuff like what Hakeem Jeffries, and I put that clip in a video the other day. Hakeem Jeffries is blatantly lying, saying, well, DOGE and Elon, they're going to steal your money. What? Elon's going to steal money? The guy worth $500 billion is going to steal money? Seems like you might be the one that wants to steal money, Hakeem Jeffries. You know, it's always quite interesting that they never speak about the actual corruption going on. They never talk about it.
Burchett from Tennessee. He sits on the Oversight, Foreign Affairs, and Transportation Committees. Congressman, thanks so much for your time on this Saturday. We appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Listen, there are concerns from some Americans over Elon Musk's methods in going through these agencies, accessing what is very vulnerable data. Why are you confident this is secure?
I'm confident it's secure just because of the caliber of the people that they have doing it. it's odd to me that the Democrats are sniping at these young folks and they're 19, 20, 21, 2-year-old folks, but you've got seniors in both parties who are inept of any cognitive skills almost, and are incapable of governing. And we've seen that in the past, and they've embarrassed us in the national press. We've had them fall down. We've had them stumble and verbally in press conferences. And so I have total confidence in this group. I think that the gripes are, you're not seeing it from the old school Democrats. It's the young liberal Marxist types that don't approve of $2 million. They approve of $2 million in sex change for folks in Guatemala, or $6 million for tourism being spent in Egypt, or LGBTQ comic books being given to kids in other nations. Those are the things that America is disgusted about. You know, we've had this Hurricane Helene just ripped through our country, and the poor people in Upper East Tennessee and North Carolina basically were living in tents and didn't have electricity or water till President Trump came in, and we'd already allocated $100 million for that. Where's that money going? I think America is just fed up.
Look at her face. She looks so pissed. She looks so angry that he's actually calling all of this out. So angry. She's so... It looks like, to me, and you guys can let me know if you agree, it looks like she wants to interrupt him so badly, but there might be somebody in her earpiece that are just telling her, just be quiet, let him finish, right? We got to at least put on the front that we aren't completely biased. But look at that. That doesn't look like a person that is happy about this situation. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Y'all can let me know how y'all feel about that.
Ma'am. And they're tired of the overtaxing and over-governmenting it, and they're seeing the results.
I hear you. I mean, listen, the president was very clear when he ran on what he wanted to do with the government, and the American people...
I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, and it's absolutely foolish, but I'm happy Scott Bessent has come out and cleared the air on what's actually happening with DOGE and Elon. Check out this clip as well.
There is widespread concern about the DOGE team's access to sensitive payment systems. Are you worried at all that that access and that tinkering of the payment systems could affect the Treasury's market or cause any disruption?
Good. Well, Saleha, thank you for asking me about that, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. First of all, when you say the DOGE team, these are Treasury employees. It is 2 Treasury employees, one of whom I personally interviewed in his final round. There is no tinkering with the system. They are on read-only. They are looking. They can make no changes. It is an operational program to suggest improvement. So we make 1.3 billion payments a year. And this is 2 employees who are working with a group of long-standing employees.
The letter that the Treasury...
Read only. They cannot make any edits or changes on their own. Those changes must be approved that they are suggesting. Oh, but Democrats are, Elon's going to steal our money. He's going to change my budget. He can't do anything. Elon is literally just scanning through, taking note of any corruption that he sees, where the money is going, how much went where, and posting it. As a matter of fact, I heard that he may be actually dropping some commercials, exposing some of this corruption on national television. So that will be quite interesting as well. So not only will we get to see the corruption being uncovered online, on places like X, right? And right here on YouTube. But I heard that he bought some commercials, paid for some commercials. And so they'll be on national television, on the TV, for everyone to see. This is where all of your money is going. And this is how it's been uncovered. This is what Elon and DOGE are doing. I hope that he lays it out the proper way. You know, shows the Democrat outrage, and then he shows, hey, It's me, Elon. This is what we're doing here. We're uncovering the corruption. This is where all of your money is going. They can just grow. It's just a long list of just millions and billions of dollars going towards BS. 50 million for condoms in Gaza. Like, are you kidding me? Goodness gracious, man. These folks, they're on their way out. They're cooked. That money train is over. The American people, by and large, don't believe in them. Donald Trump is more popular than ever before. The corruption is being uncovered, and I hope we get some arrest going here soon. Hey, it's shaping up to be a good I shouldn't say good, a phenomenal next 4 years. Now, we got to make sure we win in the midterms, which I fully expect us to do thus far. I have no reason to think that we wouldn't extend our lead in the midterms, or at worst, just keep it, right? I have no reason to believe that we wouldn't at this point, but if I do, I'm going to say it. Like it, love it, or hate it. We gonna address any problems that come our way, because I'm about winning, baby. And ignoring problems is not conducive to winning. But as of right now, we're looking pretty damn good, and I'm excited to say that. It's looking like we're going to extend our lead, extend our majority come the midterm. So that's always some fantastic news. It looks like we will hopefully get rid of someone like Mitch McConnell, which I'm definitely excited about. Man, it's going to be a phenomenal 4 years, baby. It's going to be a phenomenal 4 years. But thanks for tuning in as always. Peace and love. I'm out.